Hello, and welcome to my video on the January 2019 Algebra 2 Regents, question number 19. In this question, we're asked which graph represents a polynomial function that contains x squared plus 2x plus 1 as a factor. And we see four different graphs, and we have to choose which graph represents the polynomial function. The first thing to notice is that this quadratic expression is itself factorable, and we can factor it using the AM method of factoring. So two numbers that will multiply to 1, that will add up to 2, would give us a factorization of x plus 1 times x plus 1. And since these are the same factor, we can condense this and write this as x plus 1, all things squared. So we factored this, but keep in mind, this is just a factor. It's just a part of the bigger polynomial. So if we try to perhaps solve for when the polynomial is equal to 0, this x plus 1 being squared would be a part of the factorization of our polynomial. So I'll just bring that down here. And then there would be perhaps one or more other factors that we should see in the entire polynomial. But because of this factor here, if we try to solve for when this polynomial is equal to 0, because of this factor, we should see, in particular, a double root happening at -1. And if you recall, this had certain significance to what we should see happening on the respective graph of the polynomial. Because whenever we had a double root, well, first, the root ties in with the x-intercept of our graph, but a double root means that we should see the graph bouncing at that x-intercept. And if we look at the answer choice number 1, that graph, we definitely see a bounce in our graph at the x-intercept at -1. We do not see that happening with the graph in choice number 2, nor in the graph in choice 3, nor in the graph in choice 4. All these x-intercepts at -1, the graph goes straight through the x-intercept. There's no bouncing. So the only graph that could be the polynomial with this given factor has to be the graph in choice 1, because again, we see the bouncing on the x-intercept at x equals to -1. So I hope this graph helped answer any of your questions. As always, best of luck with your studies, and thank you for watching. Take care.